coming through the gate into probably what we call the front yard midsection. And some things I've been mucking around with. Yeah, I've put in this tree fern. It is Cyathea cooperi, probably not the best choice and probably not the nicest tree fern, but it's pretty much almost 100% shade here for most of the year. So that's growing really well. Probably will become a bit of a giant here, but we'll see how we go. That's a plant I'd never heard of that a friend gave me. That's called Kutsia or Kutsia. It's called native hydrangea, and it's from the north coast of New South Wales, or maybe the rainforests up that way. There's only one species in the genus, and this is it. I forget what the species is, but look up Kutsia. I think that starts with a C. I have to refresh my memory on that one, but this has just hit its straps in the last couple of months, growing really well. We've got a whole heap of bungalow palms here. They drop a lot of fronds, but they do give a lot of cover from the western sun with the Libostoners. So I don't mind them too much. They are a native palm, but they do drop a lot of fronds. It's a bit of a pain, and they drop the old inflorescence structure as well. I've got to get rid of it all, but they do block out the western sun here, creating a bit of a microclimate. Inherited these blueberry ash, Elaeocarpus. Just try to prune those, fatten them out a bit, keep them sort of short. They probably need a prune actually, but I just like to fatten them up. Underneath, it was all fishbone fern, asparagus fern, dug it all out. I got things like Corazima caudatum, flame pea, really nice plant. Kangaroo grass, things like Prostanthera incisor. That's a popular plant here in Sutherland Shire, one of the native mints. Acacia cognata, probably in the wrong spot there, a bit too shady, a bit too moist, but it's doing okay. I'm really happy with this. This is Prostanthera rotundifolia. It's been in for about 18 months, I think, and it's just forming this really beautiful 2 metre wide, almost 2 metre high shrub. Curiously, it hasn't flowered yet. I'm waiting for it to flower. I don't know if it's a bit of a dud, non-flowering Prostanthera, but we'll wait and see. I can't wait till it flowers. I just intermingle kangaroo grass everywhere. And once again, this was all fishbone fern, dug it all out. It's doing really nicely. I've got a bit of a hodgepodge here going on now, a really dense sort of ground cover of viola. With things like flowering gums, flowering corymbia. This is one of the ones that has the gaudy orange flowers. They don't last very long, but when they produce, they're pretty nice. Putting things like Plectranthus back there. That's one of the hardiest, easiest plants to grow in a native garden, especially from cuttings. They strike really quickly. What's become a bit of a monster is this zigzag grevillea. Grevillea flexuosa from Western Australia, and for the East Coast they're grafted, probably onto things like Grevillea robusta. But this sort of a good example of the wrong plant in the wrong place. It's right along the path, and I prune it every 5 minutes because it just grows out. It's getting a little bit messy, but it's very dense inside. And what I'm really passionate about in this garden is trying to get the little birds to come in and see if they'll be enticed by it. So my son goes traipsing through the mangroves across the road down there, and he sees yellow thornbills and silver eyes and superb fairy wrens and all that sort of thing. And I'd really love for them to come and take a visit in here. We just get the typical big birds, the lorikeets, the magpies, the kookaburras. You know, they're all nice, but I'd really love to get the little birds in here. And that's what this garden's all about, a bit of a build it and they will come sort of strategy. I like doing the insect houses. That's an old doll's house of mum's. Put that together. You do see, when you watch it, some mornings you do see little sort of what look like native bees or native wasps in there doing their thing. The one tip I've heard with these is just try and make sure they face the eastern sun And if they do, they'll probably be a bit more successful. That's one tip I've heard, and it seems to be working well there. This one here faces pretty much directly east. Few things at the back there. I replaced this fence just recently. This fence was one of those Melaleuca brushwood fences, and we had 100% privacy, and I know that's a big thing with people, but there was all weeds growing through it. It was all falling apart. It was all tangled. The honeysuckle was all through it. I pulled it down. We've still got remnants of it lying around as sort of firewood, and put this sort of ranch-style fence in. So we lost a bit of privacy, but I'll replace that once we get plants back up and growing. Keep coming along. I've got another Indigofera australis. I'm really happy with this one. And I sort of put a photo of this one on Facebook, and people were sort of liking it, but it has been pruned. It's been pruned about 2 or 3 times now after flowering. Don't be scared to prune your native plants. You got to prune them. And I just heard someone the other day say to me, "Oh, I'm working in a native garden now, so I'm not pruning as much." Well, you should be. You should be pruning. I prune a lot here, and I just end up with this nice, dense, rounded, almost semi-formal looking sort of shrubs. And they'll flower a lot better, provide a lot more cover. We've got a lot of lizards in here running around, and that's what you want with your native plants. This was all lawn here. I dug it all up. Got things like the old Beckia, Beckia Vagata, which I think's now been split into 15 different things, but this might be one of the Cynanthas, but these are popular in gardens, even in formal gardens. They create a really nice, tight, round bun. Never grown this before, but this is Kunzia baxteri. It's going to have beautiful red, almost bottle brush type flowers from Western Australia. I'm growing 2 of them here. Just gave them a prune the other day and hoping they flower. They can take about 3 or 4 years to flower, but we'll see how we go. I've also got Melaleuca fulgens and things like Darwinia citriodora in here. So this is all grass. I dug it all up. That's Leptospermum rotundifolium. They will have really beautiful, deep pink red flowers, apparently in autumn. And I don't know if it's going to flower this autumn. We're in March now. It's probably going to flower next year. A bottle brush here as well that I put in. I think that was something like Callistemon rigidus, possibly. That'll have nice red flowers. Down here, I just want to talk to you about a plant. I love this one, if you can get one. It's let me try that again. Xerochrysum chrysanthus. Is that the name of it? Xerochrysum chrysanthus from the floral emblem of Cairns. And if you've never seen one of these in flower, they're absolutely... what am I talking about? Let's start again. Xanthostemon. Xanthostemon chrysanthus, not Xerochrysum. Xanthostemon chrysanthus. Yeah, it's a floral emblem of Cairns. Golden pender. And when they're in flower, they're absolutely stunning. Sort of deep golden yellow, almost sort of bottle brush like flowers, but in a slightly different arrangement at the terminals. But this is a dwarf variety. It only gets to 3 metres tall. Otherwise, they get pretty huge. So golden pender, Xanthostemon, pretty much means golden stamens. Chrysanthus, I think, is a species. Even as I'm saying that, it doesn't sound right, but it's definitely Xanthostemon. Beautiful plants to grow. You shouldn't have too much trouble, even in Sydney. But if you ever go up Cairns way, have a good look at them. They can grow into nice big trees, but that's a dwarf form. Things like Gastrolobium, red pea flowers, another one from Western Australia. I think that one might have had a name change recently, but that's a nice scrambling pea. Really, these solitary red pea flowers, a bit like Canetia. So it's a bit of a hodgepodge in here. Everything's starting to grow into each other, but I've got this clematis on my nice Amazon light here, which I really like. We found this light pole buried in amongst one of those dwarf phoenix palms, which I hate. I cutted that down. That's the remnants of it there. And the light pole still worked. It was just this brown bent light pole, and it still had power. and I spray painted it black. I got a light, I redid the wiring, and I've now got this beautiful garden light, which I'm really happy with, and just had to put a few rivets and stuff in there to hold it all together. Yeah, this clematis, probably Glycinoides or Aristata, it's getting a bit out of control. But I keep pruning it, and, you know, we'll just see how it goes. Things like Illyria microphylla, that's a really nice plant. Daisy bush, real nice one. I've just put this water feature in here. Bought the kids' sandpit from Bunnings. Got a sort of an old-fashioned pump there, and an old tub with water in it. And in the next video, I'll turn it on and show you what it does.